guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're gonna go and take a look at our boy LR Final Form Cooler at full level 10 links, rainbowed, good equips. We've got the whole thing going on. I wanted to get the intro in here, but this is a friend Cooler, but it's alright. On this next turn, we'll be able to show Cooler's overwhelming strength. So, Cooler is the most recent Dokkan Festival exclusive LR that has come out on GP and Global Dokkan. And Cooler is ridiculous. A lot of you guys have definitely been able to notice by now exactly how powerful and absurd this LR Cooler is. I do think he's a top 3 unit in the game. I would put him above the 7th anniversary LRs, who are very good. But I think Cooler can sort of get to better defensive levels than them. I mean, the thing about the gods and Super Saiyan 4s is that they can be countered pretty hard. Pretty hard countered by a boss that could cancel dodging like Broly, right? Like the gods in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, they have all this dodge in their kit that does not work in that fight, which of course is one of the toughest fights in the game, even right now. Alright, so we're gonna go and bully on this Zamasu for a little bit, and we could see Cooler. So here's Cooler turn 1. Remember, Cooler has the ridiculous link set, Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, Strongest Clan in Space, Universe's Most Malevolent, Thirst for Conquest, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. It allows Cooler to basically work completely perfectly with all these villain characters and just do ultra good. 200k defense right there. Remember that Cooler builds up. Every single time Cooler attacks, he gets 1 ki up to a max of 5 and then 10% attack and defense up to a max of 100%. So he does need to build up quite a bit, right? He does need to do 10 attacks to fully build up. Once you hit that 10th attack, Cooler then does a guaranteed additional super. Once you've done 8 attacks, you can use his active skill Supernova. Again, Cooler is easily one of the strongest units in the game. I would probably say that when it comes to like offensive power, I feel like Cooler is probably numero uno, right? To me, he feels more impressive, I would say, like a fully like kitted out, like, you know, ready to stomp Cooler than even like STR Vegito and stuff like that, right? When you factor in that Cooler stacks attack, but then not only is he stacking attack, you know, he then is able to launch that ridiculous active skill of his, right? So when Cooler fires off this insane active skill of his, that's pretty much GG, right? Like, if you're able to get a lot of stacks in, you're able to pop that active skill, you're able to get the nullification and stuff like that, and then one of these ridiculous turns of him just relentlessly attacking every second, it's just like the damage and just overall what this guy is capable of doing, this Cooler, is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I do really think they nailed Cooler completely. I guess I would have sort of like 2 complaints. One, I mean, I think both Goku and Cooler I'd hit this with, both of them could have and should have had nullifications, right? Goku easily could have had like a melee nullification or even just a super attack counter, right? Where when, you know, he kind of just like tanks Cooler's punch to his stomach and Goku doesn't even flinch. And then, of course, we know Cooler, you know, him flying through Goku's Kamehameha and then just absolutely dusting Goku in the face right afterwards. That actually is the opening shot of Cooler's 18 key super attack, but I feel like Cooler should have just straight up had either a super attack counter, again, or a straight up beam nullification is what he should have had. Zamasu's not healing himself here? We're about to kill him. Okay. I guess, well, I wanted to let Cooler build up for quite a while, but, okay, I guess we'll go fight, like, Broly, then, or something like that. Jeez, okay, yeah, well, this is gonna be a good turn. This is turn 4. We have all 7 links activated. 425k defense. Cooler looks way different when he's paired up with STR Cooler, by the way. I mean, we're getting Terrifying Conquer, 50% support, everything that's going on. Remember that LR Cooler? Every 12 key super attack he does, he's getting 50% defense. So that's going to allow him to, you know, get a really huge defensive level if he does many, many super attacks. Alright, well, again, we killed Zamasu pretty fast. I mean, I guess that's the Turles' stunning caused Zamasu to not be able to heal up. It's fine. Alright, so Cooler's going to kill him right here. 12 million turn 2. He does stack, and he's not even close to being fully built up. So we're going to see some insanity from Cooler in this video. That's for damn sure. Okay, so now Zamasu's dead. And remember when it used to be hard to kill Zamasu? Yeah, it's pretty easy now. Alright guys, here we are on turn 6. We have Cooler's Supernova up already. I'll probably just save it and then we'll finish the video with Cooler's KO screen, because of course he does have a KO screen with his active skill. So we can do the Supernova just with 8 attacks. You know, remember Cooler is insane, right? Where the first 3 turns he has a guaranteed additional, the medium chance of being a super from his intro animation. Then he has 2 guaranteed additionals, which have a 30% chance to super. And then, of course, he gets his guaranteed additional super in the 10th attack that he does. So it is possible for LR Cooler to attack 6 times, specifically on his second turn. So turn 1, Cooler would have to attack 5 times, and then you'd have to attack 5 times again on turn 2, and then that would activate his guaranteed additional super. So you can, in Cooler's first 2 turns, do 11 attacks, which is really, really crazy. It would be interesting to potentially see that. If we would, you know, so they've released so many different types of difficult content. Maybe they drop, like, some sort of, like, red zone stage where it's just, like, one phase, and then the boss has, like, 150 million HP or something like that. And if that was the case, we would be able to see Cooler do that, like, easily, right? The problem is that there's not many bosses right now that could take, essentially, 10 attacks from Cooler while also taking hits from other bosses, right? Like, it's very difficult to sort of, like, line that up specifically, but, you know, that could be crazy. Cooler doing 6 attacks in a turn. So we have all 7 links activated. We have a bunch of support. When we see Cooler's defense looking like this, right? Remember, he's getting 50% defense every single time he does a 12-key super. So if we have one of these turns where Cooler just decides, oh, I'm just going to do 80 12-key super attacks, defensively, he can be up there tanking some of the hardest hitting bosses in the game. Cooler is, I think, truly a special unit. I am very pleased with the design. Again, the only things, there's 2 things I sort of don't like about him, wish could have been better or added, and that's, so again, this right here, that's Goku, or that's Cooler flying through the Kamehameha, right? That should have been a nullification instead. And then the active skill Supernova, I think Cooler should have had guaranteed crits on it. 10 million with the additional, really? Okay. Cooler should have had guaranteed crits for the entire turn when he does his active skill. Just the way that LR, Vegeta, and Trunks do it. Just the same way that, you know, LR, Goku, and Gohan and the 7th anniversary LRs do it. That's a ridiculously powerful mechanic. Now, I understand that Cooler is a little bit different than a lot of these other characters where, you know, you give Cooler the guaranteed crit on the Supernova, and then he does guaranteed crits on 5 supers afterwards. Like, yeah, it's a little bit OP, but, I mean, so what, right? Cell Max does 2 million damage, right? Are we going to call that OP? Right? Like, I think it would be okay. But those are kind of the, like, it's really the one sort of, major complaint I have. LR Goku has this issue as well, right? Where he also should have a nullification, you know, getting punched by Cooler. And then he also should have the guaranteed crit for the turn on his active skill. To me, I found that ability specifically is just so nuts, right? Giving yourself the guaranteed crits for the turn is so ultra powerful. You could use that to just melt a lot of these bosses' health in seconds, man. Okay, so, I mean, at this point, we have Cooler fully built up, alright? Like, here's just next to STR Cooler, and it's like, we're just gonna continue getting stronger every single turn. I might let Cooler build up a little bit, you know, just sort of get some more stacks in, and we can kind of see what Cooler's damage is gonna get up to, but I mean, you guys could see what this character is capable of doing. We took him against Cell Max, we took him against Red Zone Broly, took him against Red Zone Omega. Cooler is able to completely dominate, disintegrate, obliterate every single one of these difficult events. He's at the point where he is strong enough where even like type disadvantage might not be too big of an issue for him. But a lot of Cooler's defensive power is coming from his 12-key super attacks. Now, Cooler looks about 80 times better when he's next to this STR Cooler right here. If this guy gets an Easy A in this celebration, and this guy is made to be a very powerful Easy A, it could be crazy. Really, what we'd want with STR Cooler is, dude, you could change nothing about him. Maybe just, you know, give him, like, guard or damage reduction or something. That's it. Change nothing else. Just slide that on him with the stat increases, and we're gaming at that point. Then LR Cooler. Because if LR Cooler, if you could just sit him down in slot 2, and, you know, your slot 1 is protected, Cooler can carry you in terms of damage, power, everything, right? That's why Cooler's team is so good, is because you have several slot 1 capable options depending upon the event, right? You have LR Golden Frieza, you have LR Janemba, you have Fat Janemba, you have the other 2 Easy ATUR Golden Friezas, right? You know, maybe if we're talking about the Cell Max event, we could use, what's his name? Like, Birder and Jace, right? To potentially dodge super attacks and look good in the Cell Max event. So, Cooler is just in a really good spot, and it's just really impressive overall. I think what we'll do is we might, we'll come back in a turn or two. Probably want another turn of, you know, all 7 links activated or something like that. I also want to get Cooler's active skill KO screen, but yeah, Cooler's ridiculous. Personally, I have him at number 3, I think, overall of units in the game. I do slightly have Goku ranked better. I just think that the defensive stacking guard plus revive combo that Goku has is just a little bit too ridiculous. Whereas Cooler, you know, a lot of his power is generated from his links, you know, his good team, stuff like that. Goku, I find to be a little bit more versatile, right? You can kind of just, like, throw Goku out there. You don't really need to worry about builds and stuff like that. And he can tank, he could survive a super attack from Cell Max. Goku can, right? Like, that's super impressive. Whereas, like, Cooler, it's more so under the proper setup, he becomes the best unit in the game. Cooler. It's kind of how that is. Because, again, I would say that I do think Cooler has the highest peak of any character in the game, I think. I don't know that other units right now are able to sort of get to his level. So, all right, I guess we'll do this turn. We'll probably do the next turn, and then I'll probably slap the active skill KO screen down. So you guys can let me know what you think of this LR STR Final Form Cooler. He is just different. He's just ridiculous. I adore this unit. I love him. I think they did a fantastic job with how they made him. This is like... Everyone loved, if you guys weren't around back when he came out, everyone loved Physical Final Form Cooler. Everyone. Like, you know, the Super Saiyan 4s came out during the anniversary. Everyone, like, oh, they're the best. Then Cooler came out and blew everyone away, right? And it's like the Dokkan devs, like, realized how much people enjoyed that Cooler back then, and then they sort of, like, you know, just recreated him. They recreated the magic. Oh, my God. This, like, we could just end on this, basically. Like, dude, look at this. Like, are you kidding me? And on this turn, where he does all those 12-key super attacks like that, he can tank these big bosses. Red Zone Cooler, Red Zone Broly, Red Zone Omega. He would be able to survive a super attack from these characters, these bosses, when he does one of those turns like that. Again, just a ridiculously impressive character. I think they did a tremendous job with him. That's it. They did a fantastic job with this Cooler. I do really love him. So, all right, we're going to get this next turn, because the next turn, of course, is the turn where we have all 7 links activated. And then I do just want to get that awesome KO screen, right? Oh, one other thing, too, I don't know if I've talked about this in this video so far. Cooler does lower attack on his 12-key. I think that could be pretty good for Super Battle Road runs. If you're going to do Super Battle Road runs, I see no reason to go for his 18-key a lot of the times. And, like, these, you know, it's like Final Trump Card is getting an extreme Super Battle Road stage, and I expect it to be one of the hardest in the game. You know, if Cooler shoots out 2 or 3 12-key super attacks early in those fights, you can completely neutralize the damage an enemy's doing. And then, of course, the 50% defense on Cooler's 12-key will allow you to then tank these difficult Super Battle Road bosses as well. So, Cooler, the way he's designed, the way he generates his power, he should sort of, like, hold up across the entire game, right? I think Cooler's power is going to be felt everywhere. So here we go. All links activated. He's fully built up, 567. That's just so crazy considering he's getting 50% on every 12-key super attack that he does, right? 50%. So, you know, he busts out 4 super attacks, and that boy's defense is very, very high. So, all right, let's go ahead and see what attacks that he gets right here, what he does on this turn. And then we'll go ahead and pop that Supernova. The other thing that cannot be understated, too, Just how ridiculously swaggy Cooler is too, right? Like, just like his voice lines, all of it is just like so damn good. Super, super, super supremely powerful character, right? So, oh yeah, here we go. There we go. That guaranteed additional super he gets after his 10th attack, so good, right? Because that just really puts you in a good spot. Here we go. Just cook. Just go, Cooler. Go, baby. Keep going. Let's get 2 more. Okay, that's all right. 1 more. By the way, I do also recommend full crits for Cooler. Oh, wow. All right, dude. Yeah. See, like, this turn right here, this is where it's like no unit in the game is matching Cooler. The performance Cooler did on that turn right there, no character is matching that. I don't think so. I don't think there's nothing. STR Vegito, Vegito, nah, man. I don't think characters are matching what he does right there. Especially, I mean, if you factor in STR Vegito, if we're talking about his peak, he can't take attacks anymore. His peak is with a double Whis activated, right? Cooler's peak is I'm doing, you know, a 70 million attack stat, and then, oh, by the way, I'm also double-digit tanking the strongest AGL boss in the game, right? Like, it's not comparable, I don't think. Cooler's it's just ridiculous. All right, guys, let's go ahead and have Big Daddy drop the final blow right here. We'll go ahead and use his active skill. So let me know what you guys think of Rainbow Star, full level 10 Lynx, LR Final Form Cooler. I think that this guy is just a virtual nightmare. One of the strongest characters in the game, and I think just an absolutely insanely good design overall. So thanks, guys, for watching, and goodbye.
弟のように甘くはない。一人のやつ根絶やしにしてくれる。